So as you know, we have launched 5.1 Splynx release. This year we already launched 5.0, and we are continuing improving our platform. And 5.1 has many features in, let's say, in the administrative portal, and also some interesting features in networking. And I'll be showing it one by one today. First, let me say a few things, a few words about how we develop our platform and how do we decide what features we use. So there is a features.splynx.com website that if you don't use it, please use it. If you are not familiar with it, please visit it. It's a type of voting platform where we gather the feedbacks. And if you look at that, it also is quite transparent in the way how we plan the new features and development in Splynx. So if you choose like here, the quarterly roadmap, I can see what was done in this second quarter and what will be done in third and fourth quarter of 2025. Our project manager, Vitaly, gathers all the feedbacks, and he is responsible for this website. And then when he plans the development, he publishes here. So he connects actually these requirements with our tasks as with our stories in our development software. So for example, one example that I wanted to show is link customers to one account is the feature that people asked us many times and during several years, and we were not able to execute it. We were not able to develop it because it required really a lot of efforts and redesign, internal redesign of the system. But fortunately, in 5.1, we were able to achieve it. You can see that we had like 24 votes, but I'm pretty sure that there were many other customers who didn't vote but wanted this feature. And this is what I would like to start with. So we will start, like how many people are there? So can we, yeah, there's over 100 people already there. So let's start with what was added in Splynx 5.1. And the main feature, let's say, on the pillar of 5.1 is linked accounts. So this is the feature that, as I said, people were desperately waiting for years, and but it required the real redesign of the internal connections in the platform, and that's what we did. And as you can see here, now we got an option when we can connect to one main account, we can connect many sub-accounts. We can connect them in two different ways. The first way, that sub-account will still have independent billing, but main account will have overview of everything that is happening with the sub-account. Or the second option is that all sub-accounts will be aggregated to one single invoice that will be issued to main company. And here I have an example. I'm using demo.splynx.com. And here I have created one customer that I call ISP reseller. And actually, what are the use cases of scenario when we have one account and many sub-accounts? One use case is very simple when we connect a household and they have 2 or 3 physical locations. So for example, they have their primary house where they live, and then they have vacation house, and then they have their grandmother where they live, and they need to connect all these 3 accounts and get one single invoice. So this is a basic example, basic usage of that feature. The second option is that we can also manage a reseller. So if you want a reseller, that will be connecting the customers, and we will be charging this reseller one invoice, and all his sub-customers will be under one invoice. We can use it here. Or even single customer can get his own invoice, but still a reseller will have access to these sub-accounts, to their tickets, to their invoices if they are separate, to the services, and there will be also an option for him to order new services and make changes. So let me show you that example here. ISP reseller is the main account, and here you can see by default, if I look to my Splynx, I do not see any main or sub accounts, but only when accounts are connected, then we see that there is in a table a note. And if I open sub account here, you can see that immediately it shows me that there is a main account ISP reseller there. And if I want to charge him or to work with his invoices, I can't, because he is fully connected to the main account and the billing is done on the main account. So let me click to this ISP reseller again, the new tab was introduced here, sub accounts. As you can see, main account has 3 sub accounts. I can click on this number 3. I can go to sub accounts. So let me click there. Here it says enable sub account management. It allows me to manage everything as an ISP reseller main account. I can manage and get new orders and changes and tickets and everything on my sub accounts. And then I have 3 sub accounts here with their services. Now, if I'm going to create an invoice, and then you can see that the one test invoice was already created, I will do the recurring invoice, and that will create me currently, because I have already an invoice, I created a new service just for myself for main account. I have only one line item, but I think if I will add more days, so then you can see that now all sub accounts are there, and even my main service. So the main account can have multiple sub accounts, and also it can have own services that are present in the service section. So when I create save, it creates me the invoice. I open the PDF, you can see there is a description of, it depends on the template. Here I see the description or the template is quite basic and demo, but usually there is always a destination or a direction of the connection and also sub account information. If I want to manage my sub accounts, I can do it from customer portal of a main account. This is my main account. I'm going to log in as customer. And when I log into customer, what I see here is basic information about my main service or one service that I have connected on this account. And then I can go to my sub accounts there. And I have a list of sub accounts with amount of services. So I will choose Loreen, and it will show me that it has 2 services. It will show me statistics for this sub account, and it will show me if there were any tickets created, with also ability to create a ticket. I can order a new service for this sub account. There is a button order new service, and from selection or configuration of Splynx, I have option to order a service for my sub accounts. So this is very useful for resellers. So I can select the service, and if I have a payment, we can configure the flow that the payment immediately is accepted. So you can see that there is an order new products, and then it will link me to the demo doesn't have any payment gateway connected, but it can immediately ask me to make a payment as well. So that's what I see from the customer portal. If I connect as a sub account to customer portal, there will be also information, but let's say limited, because there is the way of connection is integrated, aggregated. So let me go back to sub accounts, to there, and log in as customer. So here I see my services. I do not see any invoices because everything is paid by main account, but I got my statistics, I got my list of my products, and I can order a new service. And if we have any inventory or any device connected there, it will be also displayed. As I said, the difference when I connect a sub account, let me connect one, for example. If I want to connect sub account, there is a link button here, or I can do it from information action, link sub account. And then I just select some customer, this. This is the billing modes, aggregated or independent. So as I said, aggregated is going to create one single invoice for everything. Let's make it independent. And then customer number 17, link. And now the 4th sub account was aggregated. And you can see that the billing mode is independent here. So it was added with the independent mode. So this option gives us a lot of flexibility in connecting customers, grouping them all together, and dealing with this multiple services per one client. Let's go to my next slide. And that, as I told, that took probably the most part of the development process in 5.1 release. there is an example of screenshot sub-account management from customer portal that what I shown. Some additional features were added to billing. Is one of them, number one, is account and service cancellation. We have an option. It's not enabled by default, but on some markets, in some regions, this is required. So this is an option when customer cancels the service, we can provide him a refund for unused period. So that's for configuring it. We need to just enable it in the configuration of Splynx, and by default, it is disabled. Okay, so but as I said, we got several requirements for it, and there are companies using it. The second feature that we added is that automatic payments of invoices. So we can select in, let me show it, where is that? So this, if I open my finance and invoices, when we select the charge, and there is a auto charge filters, we can select when the invoice will be charged. And previously it was always once per day or once per month. And now, or for example, amount of days after issues, what we added now is that it does every hour, it checks if the new invoice was added, and if it was added, immediately it tries to charge it. Usually this is used by our American customers because they like this type of automation that immediately getting paid for the invoice that is generated, but any other customers from other countries can also use it. And number three, it's an automatic generation of invoices for new service. It's a feature that allows us not to wait for the next billing cycle, but immediately when the new service was created under certain configuration, allow a new invoice to be added to this client. It's also enabling on the configuration. So these are, let's say, features and tricks or some kind of improvements to the billing. Then, if we talk about the billing, we have a new payment system for American market. It's a Paymentus. So if we have customers from the US, please feel free to contact Paymentus or contact our team if you'll be interested to test it. They have some very nice features like guest payment, direct payment links, and IWR support. I think it's a kind of voice recognition payment. So something very unique, let's say, features of payments. So please, if you're interested in that, feel free to contact them or us, and we will run demo, and we can do a presentation of how that works. One more update, what we did is we have a situation in South Africa I think few months ago, when we had to update the tax in South Africa because government decided to change the tax rate. And it was quite a lot of work. So we updated some of our clients, we prepared it, and then the government decided to not change the VAT rate. So that's why we had to move it back. But we did everything manually. To avoid this in future, and not only for South Africa, but for any other country where the change of VAT or change of tax can be applied. So we created a special tax update feature. So we set up exactly what is the date, what is the new tax, and it will update all the services and all the settings of Splynx according to this configuration. So now, when next time we'll get a tax change, that change will be done in a very good way, let's say, compared to what we had previously. Billing config add-on. Chris, maybe can you join and just quickly explain what this thing do? And I think it's for majority, again, for South African customers, they use it a lot. So it allows us to update massively the configuration of payment methods and the settings related to it. Not easy to explain.
Mostly it relates to payment methods. So if you have several different payment methods, each payment method will have its own set of configurations. So we just see it as a billing configuration template, basically. So we set up these templates once and apply that to the customers. And then whenever a customer changes from one payment method to another, the rest of the configs like due date, blocking, reminders, etc., all change alongside. So we don't have to do any manual changes, just configure the templates once off and then change the payment methods, and all the rest of the settings will change alongside it.
Yeah, as I know, we did it manually a lot before we did this add-on, and this add-on will really help us to make it much quicker, and even our customers can do it with this add-on. Because previously, I remember we had to spend hours making these changes always. So that's where improvements of our billing platform, what's a billing and charging and payments. Let's talk a bit about networking, what we added to networking. And there are three main features. The one feature that was requested for a long time, radio server that will allow routers to be connected to Splynx with not only one IP, but from a certain range. What does that mean? So let me go again, let me open demo, and in demo we have under networking there are routers, and so far always we connected Splynx to the router and we set up the IP address of host or IP address of the router, but that was useful for authentication like PPPoE, DHCP authentication of subscribers, but we were not able to add other devices like switches, like access points and similar to get access for administrators. Because you know that I as an administrator can connect to a router and have radius authentication, not the locally stored username and password, but connect with the administrator with radius credentials, radius username and password. This radius username and password is the same as I have here an administrator. So for example, I can connect with this administrator Splynx with a password to my networking equipment. And the limitation was people were not able to use it because they thought, okay, but we need now to add every single access point, every single switch. We need to add to Splynx one by one. And that's a lot of work. What about, can we just define that this, like with this secret, with this radius secret, from the whole range devices can connect. And we enabled it, we allow it now in 5.1 release. So it means that you can select one radius secret, and then you define what is your IP range from where your devices can. So you basically, this will be not a router, but will be a template. Let's say that will be like admin devices access. And then you set up there the radio secret, and then you set up 10.10.0.0/20, and it will connect. It will allow you to connect from this network any equipment via radius for administrative access, and do the radius-based authentication. So that's the first feature in networking. The second feature in networking, and I think this can be used a lot, is the blocking of customers based on the DNS. So previously or in the past, we always tried to block customers on the level of router. If it was, for example, NetElastics, they have very nice blocking algorithm their own, and they can move customer to a special web page. But if it was a MikroTik router, then we have issues because MikroTik only allowed us to do destination net, and the destination net for HTTPS traffic only shows us the page cannot be displayed. So we were not able to display really the blocking page. How we fixed it and how we did the redirection. So now the redirection works on the DNS level. It means the customer, the blocked customer, will be sending the DNS queries instead of Google DNS or instead of internal DNS, he will be sending it to Splynx DNS. That is a Splynx server itself. In Splynx, we have a DNS server running and listening for all the requests. When we receive the request to Google.com, Facebook.com from a customer, we respond with our own IP address, with the IP address of Splynx. Then customer navigates to the IP address of Splynx, and because it's a direct connection to Splynx, we can, again, in the configuration of a web server, we can answer and we can show him the page. And the page is the blocking page that will be displayed to the swapped customer. Also, we can allow some walled garden IPs, so the customer can make a payment and reactivate his internet. Basically, the configuration of that is located under config, and then we have, I think it's called DNS blocking there. Yeah, so DNS blocking. So when I enable this feature, what is the most important part is allow networks that will connect, or customers will connect from these networks to Splynx, because if I allow anything, immediately Splynx will be available for DNS queries from outside, from everyone, and it can create DDoS amplification attacks. So that will be used by bots almost immediately. So that's why we must define the networks from where customers can connect to Splynx to get this DNS answers. Then we have some configuration of our landing page, the text, URL, and then we have hosts. So it means that what are the walled garden IPs that and domains that we allow customers to navigate. So when we do this all, save it, the Splynx is ready to accept the queries, and the most difficult part will be to configure it on the networking side. So on the networking side, we must specify that basically how I do it in MikroTik router is that I define the IP range for blocked customers, and this we can do in our radius configuration. So we have there some IP addresses for blocked customers. So this one is when customer is blocked, you'll receive this IP from this IP range. And then I apply MikroTik destination net rule of 53, port 53, that says everything, all DNS queries that goes from this IP range, I will be redirect to Splynx. And also, if you don't want to reinvent the wheel, we have a configuration of these blocking rules in Splynx. So if you open for MikroTik, okay, if you open MikroTik API, there is a networking MikroTik API, and then you can find that there are IP firewall rules, and then there is a DNS blocking section. Yes, DNS blocking. So this is the rules, because these are the old rules that we had previously. So you can remove them and replace them by DNS blocking rules. So these DNS blocking rules, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, I can just delete what is here, and if I delete it, my DNS blocking rules will start working. It will be pushed to the router. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do there. So if you want these rules to be replaced and to get these rules, that's what will be pushed to your to MikroTik. But then, as I said, you need to really be careful and work and test how it is working, because it can also have some netting, and this netting can affect it that customers will not receive corrected DNS reply. So that's, but we take this technology from our partner Whalebone, that they do DNS redirection for malware and similar. So we, let's say, took the technology and logic from them. So I don't know if they use exactly the same approach, but the logic on the DNS blocking is taken from them. And it's actually the only one way how we were able to block customers efficiently. Because when I was testing it, let's say 95% of cases, I always get my web page. I tried different browsers, because as we know, some browsers now try also to run DNS over HTTPS. So we block all this traffic as well by the rules, and then it starts to query DNS directly without HTTPS. And So I was able to achieve, let's say, 95% of success with this rules and with this approach, and displaying the blocking page. We will be still improving this feature, but I would like you to start using it, to test it, and provide your feedback. So we will be happy to assist you, to help with that. Vlad, do you have, maybe you can add something?
I can show the flow. And Alex, I see that several people raised hands. I assume they have questions about this block rejection. Should we answer now or wait till Q&A session? So we'll answer all questions. Then.
Yeah, I think better is to wait for Q&A and then answer all the questions. So if you can maybe,
guys,
who
those
is
who
raising,
raised hands, please just type your questions and we'll answer all of them during the Q&A session. And regarding the flow, let me just share the screen.
Stop sharing now. Okay.
One moment. Okay, share. Okay, so as soon as you enable this feature, you in the URL you add this slug landing, and you will be able to preview this page. How does it look like? So this is our demo instance, and as of now, the customization that you can do here is to update the logo, update the wording here. So this is how the flow looks like. So customer lands on this page. They are able to access their portal. As soon as they press the button, they will be redirected to your customer portal, and then the flow is the same as usual. They can access their page. And sorry. Okay, and then as Alex mentioned, in the list of hosts, you define accessible resources. So make sure to provide just to allow the host for your payment system. So customer can be redirected to a payment system as here. And so this is the Netcash payment system as an example. So they can make a payment using a card or any other option in the available list. So basically, that's how it works and how it looks. So just once again, to check how your page looks like. So this is your URL, and you add landing, you will be able to see this page. Okay, so that's it from my side.
Thank you, Vlad. And the next feature that we added here is multi-PSK for a single SSID. What does that mean? There are scenarios when you connect a building with many units or many flats, and inside of this building you built a Wi-Fi network, and the Wi-Fi network can use only one SSID, for example. It can be multiple SSIDs, but let's look at an example when we have a building and we have one SSID, and every member of this building, every person who lives there, they will get their own PSK. So they will get their own password to connect to this network. And you can manage it from Splynx now. So how do we do it? So first of all, in the configuration of Splynx, there's a new section that is called multiple PSK. The technology is called in a different way by different vendors. We tested it with Cambium, Ruckus, and one more. And they all call it differently. They call it ePSK, PPSK, multiple PSK, MPSK, etc. But it's the same logic. Let's say one SSID and different keys for this SSID. So I need to enable it first in my radius configuration. If I go to my radius advanced configuration, there you can see enable multiple PSK SSID. I enable it, save. And now when it is saved, it will be available under my section of customers. So I can go to one of my customers and let's select first available customer. And under his service, there will be a new section new field that is called multiple PSK SSID. And I need to select SSID. The SSID were not configured yet. So I need to go back again to my configuration. Config, PSK, multiple PSK, and there I add SSIDs. So SSID will be, for example, Splynx Wi-Fi. I can define partners and locations where this SSID will be available for customers. And I can have multiple, not only one SSID, but let's do 2 of them. And now I can go to my client back, and under his profile, on his service, I can say, okay, this service, you can connect to the Wi-Fi network that is called Splynx Wi-Fi, and the password will be his service password. So that will be his service password. Here will be a message that service password must be at least 8 characters. So that's why I need to set up Splynx test 1, 2, 3. So that's the, now if I connect Cambium or Ruckus in my building, and then customer sees there is an SSID and he uses this password and for connection, he will be connected. We will see him online, and this service he will get if there is a speed limitation. So he will get his plan configured accordingly. So that's the first step that we did to support multiple PSK. Then the next step that we are going to add also will be some kind of self-registration and allow people to also get and register this PSK with a self page or with a guest page. Now currently this must be added, let's say manually, one by one this way, but it's already available and the technology is now supported. So we had to work on that VPA2 logic. I think VPA3 is not supported, only VPA2 and VPA, but majority use this technology for connection. So that's multiple PSK. So if you have questions in the question sections, please ask me about that. Let's go to other things that we added in 5.1. We continue improving our scheduling. So this is our main goal for 2025, is to have our scheduling very advanced, let's say, and connected with a new application. So we are working on the new mobile app for scheduling, and step by step, we are improving the scheduling itself. One of the improvements here was that we added inventory integration. So now under scheduling, under my task, if I open my task there, I can add directly to my task some inventory items. So let's choose this task, and there you can see if I select a customer, there's customer, and then under customer, he has now inventory and document section. So I can link inventory, I can add documents to this customer from here. Link inventory and assign it to customer. All these improvements will help us to bring the things directly to our mobile app as well. One more thing that was also added, not mentioned here, is that we have a stock location that is called vehicle. So it means that we can assign administrator to a vehicle and then assign him the task, assign him the inventory items only to this vehicle. Again, so we are planning to have this flow when your installers will get items from inventory to the vehicle assigned to them, and then when they'll be installing it, they will be choosing it from that vehicle and putting directly to customers. So these two things were added. So inventory to customer and linking of administrator vehicle entity, let's say. So that was added, and so we are continuing improving this scheduling in Splynx. One more thing that we added also in tasks are labels. So that was something that was requested by our customers, is that here you can see that we have a label, and labels is possible to configure in the setup page, in the configuration page. You can see there, you can go to my config page. There are labels for tasks. And I select that this is, for example, my fiber installation. And then in my task view, if I select the table view, so you can see that there are table labels displayed here. As I know, we have also labels for customers. Now we have labels for tasks. And so we are also improving our WhatsApp. So this is a long-term project that we are running. And we have added canned messages, and we have added also placeholders for templates. If you use WhatsApp, we have there are templates for sending messages to a client. So I can't start conversation with a client from Splynx without having a template approved by WhatsApp. And this is an example. So this is our billing server for testing. Then you can see that I have here certain templates already configured, and these templates are synced with the Twilio, so these templates are already allowed. So if I create a new template, test, and then you see that there are placeholders. So these placeholders are variables that allow me to choose customers' data, like for example, custom portal login, billing street address, etc., etc. So I can use in creating the templates, I can use these placeholders, I can use variables in an easy way. And then when I write this template, I click button add and submit it for approval. And then this, I think it's quite quick. So in a few minutes, I will get it approved from Twilio and Meta, and then I can start conversation with this template. So let me show an example. I have a customer, Clark Kent, that I can use. There's a phone number, and I can choose some templates. Welcome message, please request chat, please follow up deployment. This is Chris from Splynx. I'm checking your deployment progress. Can you provide me an update? And I send it that way. And then I receive immediately the answer, so it will be displayed there. And everything will be also stored on the customer profile. So you can see that customer is answering me immediately. Is your internet working? I don't know if you are not familiar with WhatsApp, so please try it, because I think it's improving with every Splynx version. We have customers using it on a daily basis with hundreds of conversations. So we are tuning this add-on, we are tuning it, and we also would like in the near future to add a chatbot feature to this. So when I go to my client, then I can see this communication will be stored on the messages there. So you can see there's all communication. If I close my chat window, so I have all this communication available there. Chris, maybe you want to add something regarding the WhatsApp, because you are the father of WhatsApp integration. So if I'm missing something, just let me know.
Just one more feature is audio notifications.
That means that we can read what customer sent.
There's an audio
listen
notification when the message is sent. You can actually hear the sound.
I can hear the sound when there is a notification.
Yeah.
Can we listen to the note that customer sends?
Yeah.
Can we? Because I was not sure about that. Okay. And one more feature that we added is we try to unify the signature concept. So the contracts, quotes, or you can sign it, you can send it to customer to be signed, and now it's available for customers and for leads as well. And we are also adding a bit of, let's say, technical things to this signature. Then it will be fully compliant with the first level of signature with the European Union and the United States and worldwide. So you don't need to use any DocuSign or similar software. So you can use Splynx for it. So what you need to do is just redefine the contract template. We can help with that as well. So if you send us the template, we can prepare the template with variables and upload it to your Splynx. And then the flow is shown here. So customer must somehow verify that it's him, so like phone number or email address, where he will get a one-time code, and then when he enters the one-time code, he can continue to the signature. So he signs, and we save this document, and customer receives it as well. And I think the last thing to mention is that we changed a bit UI of portal login screens, and also, if I'm not mistaken, we improved quite a lot the way of customization of this portal. So we have customers that changed completely the view of their customer portal. So it's completely based on their design. Vlad, you want to add something to that?
Just a moment. Yeah. So basically, one thing that I wanted to add is that now it is easier to adjust the view of this, like how the customer portal look like for your branding, for instance. Yes, you would need to understand basics of CSS, HTML, but with this UI, it is easier to do, and you can do it with the help of our add-ons and entry points. I wanted to share, just a moment, I'll share my screen.
And
Okay.
ChatGPT also don't forget to mention, because you can use it. It can really help you a lot with some of these basic designs and templates.
Yeah,
even
so
without asking us to
for
assist.
instance, this is the way how our customer completely changed. This is our customer Spencer's post from United States. He just completely changed the view of his portal to match the website design, and also we have a complete guide how to do this. It is published on our forum, and also it is published on our website, and we will share it with everyone who is interested. So basically, how does it work? You simply install the new module, the basic way how you do this, and you add a new entry point. Who is aware how it's done in Splynx? So you simply add add-on as a plug, you added it, and then you add new entry point. You select where to apply it. Either it is administrator portal or customer portal, and also the route where this script or your CSS or like the styling will apply. So also just a quick difference to understand, we have a site customization section in settings. So if you use some customizations via that feature, it applies for the whole system. But here, with the help of entry points, you can apply some changes to specific fields, like for instance, login page or profile or some ticket section. So you can just adjust it as it's a framework, you can adjust it. So for instance, so this is the code. We also publish it on our website. We will share it with everyone. You can simply update a picture here in this code. And then your portal picture, which is on the right side, Alex showed it on the presentation, it will be updated. Let me just do it this way. Portal. Yeah, so you just update this URL link and this image will be updated. You can use your image, you can put some ad here, but in like it is easy to design it up to your own needs if possible, because I see that certain customers they completely change the view and feel of portal to their needs. Some customers use our basics. So because probably some people are not aware that it is possible, but yes, it's possible. If you need some guidance, you can always just reach out to us. We will assist with this. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you, Vlad. There is a time for questions and answers, so we have many questions. Let me start one by one. There is from Michael. There is a question related to signature. Can we get customers to sign quotes or lead quotes? Yes, what I mentioned about this flow on this screen is that it's not only for documents, but it's also for quotes. The logic is exactly the same. So if I open my customers, in my customers, or it can be a lead, it doesn't matter. We have under lead, we have quotes. And if I add the quotes, then this quote can be, okay, that's the quote. And then this quote can be sent for a signature. And the same way for the signature, I can create a document where I can generate the contract. So the logic, when customer receives the link, he clicks the link, then he needs to enter one-time code that he gets on his phone or his email, and then he continues to the signature. And so this flow is exactly the same for quotes signature and for contracts signature. So hope this is clear. Good question from Greg Miller. Is there any plan to implement RedSec radius over SSL? There are no plans for it so far, but we should think about it. Why not? Because we never used it. Probably it's not the best way to add it to our feature requests. So guys, please, if someone from us can do this, add the radius over SSL support. Matt Elliott is asking, how is the multiple PSK configuration passed to the Cambium devices? And everything works through radius protocol. The CN Maestro, you connect on the radius section, you define the Splynx, and all the PSKs are stored on the Splynx side. So the main, if you store in CN Maestro locally multiple PSKs, I think there is like a limitation of 1,000 keys that you can store. But in Splynx, there are no limitation on that because they are stored in our database, so externally for CN Maestro. And they are all linked to customers in your billing system. So radius is the key for this. And there's another question, Aurelien Poret, is it possible to add customer shortcut as the task view to TR69 device page? Maybe yes. Let's raise this question for our product team through feature request or maybe through opening a ticket, because that's a question for our UX department, because they always try to improve and they always try to reduce the amount of steps that you need to work with the system. So any comments are welcome. So if you think that will help, let's bring it to their attention. And there are also some. Okay, there are still. Yeah, Greg Miller is saying RedSec is this plugging feature within free radius, should be a config change. Maybe yes, I have no experience with that because we use free radius as a backend of our radius. So we have two daemons. One is the free radius and the second is Splynx radius. If free radius has it, probably we just need to enable it there and then it will work. But it's a good question. Let's look deeper to it. Let's try to check it. Connor is asking a question, is Splynx able to share a template contract which can be amended so that our customers can sign via the Splynx system? Chris, what do you think? Do we have any examples of a contract that we can use that are not under NDA? Because basically we have many contracts, but they are all created by our customers for their own needs and usage.
Yeah, we'll work separately on this. I'll reach out.
Good, thank you. Connor, Chris will reach out and we'll talk to you about that. I see that all questions are answered. Chris Blatt, thank you so much for helping me for answering the questions. There's one open question still. Is it possible to add the customer shortcut in the task view? As I said, we must check it with our UX team and see if we can do something with that. So that was part Q&A. If there are any questions in the chat. Yeah, I saw there was one chat question about Ubiquiti and PSK. just a basic, I think it was not MPSK. Yeah, there is one question. Ubiquiti Air Max radios by the tower currently connect CPE to it via PSK. The device has an option for radios connection, but the function didn't work before. I think it did work. Probably something was missing in the radios configuration. Please reach out with me to check it together, because I did a configuration of CPE Ubiquiti on the PSK with like wireless authentication, and it was working. But as I remember, there was some kind of tricky setup, so it was not that simple by default to configure it.
Alex, let me jump in quickly. We have a question from a customer about pre-populated list of payment gateways, banks, merchants for South Africa to enable for blocked customers. Yes, we do have such list. Just to enable for DNS blocking to allow customers access them. We will share it with all information with this webinar. We will gather all these questions that we are answering. We will also edit the recording, and we will send everything to you guys with a guide how to work with portal, how to with this list of payment gateways to enable, just to make it easier. So it will be just wait for email from us. We will share all this information.
That's what I wanted to add. Chris has the list of banks and domains. The thing that we are discussing currently is that when we created this table here with allowed hosts and IPs, we don't have any way to import it massively. And now when we found out that there are many domains and IP addresses that need to be whitelisted, so we are now working, we have a task for 5.1 release. Still, it will be still part of this. We don't have to wait a half year for that. And in the next one of the next sprints, our developers will add the button import, and we will be able to import all that list of banks and payment gateways to the whitelist, let's say in one step, not one by one. Yeah, but Chris is gathering this list, so there's a lot of. Yeah, regarding the detailed questions about MPSK, I suggest to send me a message to alex@splynx.com, or just open a ticket support splynx.com, and we will discuss it separately with particular setups, because I see there's a question regarding MDU and MikroTik core router and PPPoE server. So these things we will rather discuss separately. There was a question, Caroline is asking, hi Alex, how do I create new labels for tasks? There was, when I was working with tasks and wanted to add the label to it, there was a button to create a new label. So if I go to my scheduling tasks, and when I was open this one, and then I scroll down, I can see there is a button there, says the labels can be configured on the config page. And when I click to the config page, immediately it sends me to configuration, and then I have these labels. I think it's located under config, and if I go to my section scheduling, so there must be someone there.
Config system labels.
Config system labels. Thank you. Here it is.
And
yes. So it's a labels, because we have labels for customers, for tickets, and for tasks. So, and that's so I like this navigation, that I don't need to go and look for it, because when I'm here, it's very useful that I have this hint there, and I can just click the button, and it shows me all that labels for tasks only. Yeah, hope this is clear. Will the Splynx app receive the WhatsApp notification? Yeah, we are working on a new app. This is what Chris answered, is that we are working on the new app that will include communication and ticketing. So it will be very useful for support members, that they don't have to sit on their computer and with open Splynx, but they will get all the notifications and ticket here on their phone. that's a, let's say, big project for us, but we would like to get it. Is there a way to put Splynx into dark mode? That's a good question. This question is here for 5 years at least. Chris, what is our last input to dark mode? Are we planning to
All
release
related to the Vue.js transition. So we are still busy transitioning the system into this Vue.js state. Once everything is done, will be easy to switch.
Yeah, but the Vue.js transition already takes like 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
Still
a lot of work. So we decided one day to migrate to the most modern technology that exists now. It's Vue.js. I think then we started migrating, and then we found out that we need to migrate even to the new release of it. So that's why it takes so long. There is a question from Mohammed Siblini. Are you planning to have a section about internet clients and VLANs assigned to them, which you can link to the customer portal just as reference or network integration, for example? We are not planning it, but we can add some additional fields for it and use it. Are you planning to integrate metro fiber map, or planning your own in the future? Yes, we are planning to have mapping. We are working on improving mapping. We are working on having a kind of map of coverage of zones to improve and to provide very simple sign up and self sign up. So we are working on it. It's go for our 6.0 release and for the next releases to have it on a very advanced level. Is there any way to have a SSO for Ubiquiti AP via Splynx? No, I don't think so, but we have some SSOs available for Splynx, not for like Ubiquiti access. I know that we have Azure SSO, and probably maybe even Google SSO in general. Yeah, there is a good question from Jared. How do we add the customer portal for modification? The recent change added Google and Facebook logging buttons on our portal. We just generated an error since we don't use those. Chris, can you please check this, and can we remove this Google and Facebook buttons from the portal?
Yeah, we'll check.
Marius from Cyprus is asking, is Viber going to be added to Splynx? Unfortunately, not yet. We have added WhatsApp because we did what's kind of voting, and we ask our customers, and the WhatsApp was number 1. The second was just plain SMS sending. So after we finish WhatsApp, we would like to make SMS sending, because not everyone uses WhatsApp. Viber is not on the list so far. Yeah, that actually Chris, I see, answered the same thing. Yeah, Chris, I think, look, Mohammed Ali is asking usable contract template, if available, will be useful. So I think maybe we can prepare one and make it public, just send it to our customers saying, okay, this is the contract that you can use. Please work with that, or at least for some regions. So if you have many customers in the US and South Africa, prepare contracts for this. Will make sense. Is there any timeline for new app release for WhatsApp and ticketing push notification? Not, unfortunately, no timeline, because we hired one more mobile developer to get this done. We'll try to do our best to release our scheduling app this year. And I think we are talking about next year, the app for communication. Mhm. Yeah, good question from Daniel. Do you have any update on the mass WhatsApp sending progress? Also, would really like an autoresponder or away message based on business hours. Chris, because I know that we talked about many times this thing like WhatsApp mass sending. Can you comment
so
that?
WhatsApp mass sending, two things that we need to implement. First is the contact book, and secondly, sending preferences or communication preferences. This is all to deal with certain countries having compliance issues. So we need to implement this first. We're planning to do it during version 6, and then in the same version, we'll also have the WhatsApp mass sending. And then regarding the autoresponder, the AI chatbot will take care of this, hopefully releasing within the next 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. So the 5.2 will be the next release that we are planning. It will be quite short, so I think it will be like in the autumn, we'll release 5.2. And then 6.0 will be a bit larger, and it will include this communication app. It will include the KMZ maps and coverage maps and all the things, and final updates of WhatsApp as well. A content book will be there. So I would like to thank everyone for your participation. Question, Greg Miller. I see there is an SSO available for Azure. Is there a plan to do the same for G Suite? So I'm not sure, Chris, regarding this SSO things. I'm not very familiar with single sign-ons. Are we planning to do some more? Because I know that we did it for customers, and then we just decided with them to make it public, and not sure about other options.
No plan currently, just a feature.
No plans. Yeah. Okay, thank you for your time. And if we didn't answer some of the questions, please feel free to send it directly to me, to alex@splynx.com or chris@splynx.com, or the best way, send it to support when it will create a ticket, and definitely we'll answer it. Or if there will be any questions about 5.1 release, any features that I was displaying, configuration of blocking, configuration of MPSK, just feel free to reach us, and we'll make a call, we'll help you, and we'll configure it together.
Yes, guys. Thanks, everyone. We will send the recording over the email. Also, all the questions that were covered during the webinar, they will be also gathered and sent to you. All guidelines, everything that we spoke about, the list of populated list of payment system banks, etc. for South African market. Also, Chris will share it with everyone. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out our support team. They will always quickly answer you. And also, there were questions how to basically update to Splynx 5.1. Again, drop a message to support team. They will quickly handle this. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a good one. Bye-bye.